What up? What up? It's welcome to Third Coast Sports TV. Y'all go ahead and y'all fall in here. I'm waiting on feeling y'all. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about the DM GM discussion as well as some of these playoff games and how the shit went over this past weekend. We probably also gonna talk about Tennessee letting go of Malarkey and what this shit does for the division. So when y'all come through, we'll start the conversation. What's going on? What's going on? Shit, yo, what's going on, Berkeley boss? King Focal, what it do? Robbie, what's good with you? Ain't late this time. Yeah, you in here on time, man. Joe Batista, what's going on, fam? What's going on, Brandon? Shit, not much, man. Just finna make the shit shake for a little bit, man. I ain't gonna stream for too long because I've been doing some long ass streams the last couple times. I know y'all enjoy it, but shit, this shit been taxing on me. Come the morning time when it's time for me to wake up and shit, I be like that damn doll on IG screaming and shit. Oh, God! That's how I be feeling in the morning and shit. Yeah, but don't do your video till Honcho days and do it live. Oh, okay. What's up, man? Shit, man, I appreciate that, man. Shit, I'm probably gonna end up making y'all. I'm gonna end up probably making one of y'all a moderator, and on this damn channel once it grow a little bit. I think once I get about like 100, about 100 subscribers on this channel, and on my other channel, I'll end up making somebody into. I have two alternate. I have two moderators, and they'll switch on a weekly basis. Cause I want anybody who wants to get in and be a moderator. What's going on, Mal Miles? Anybody who wants to moderate on the channel as it get better, and y'all done been here from the get go, y'all gonna have y'all have y'all times to moderate if y'all want to. So as the shit come in and y'all being as fresh as y'all are, we don't have to deal with the stupid shit that people be saying in these damn chats. But shit, yeah, it's 9 people in here and I got 3 likes. Y'all go ahead, and y'all hit that like button. God, I want man. Who are you telling Berkeley, bros? I was telling I was in sports fan entertainment video earlier when I got off work and I got all these damn notifications when I got off. What's going on? All the dialogue, shit. What's going on, bro? Y'all hit that like button. Shit. Shout out to everybody in the stream, man, who's coming through right now. Why don't you react to the Texans games? That should get you more subscribers. Oh, I am. I'm doing all that. I mean, it's a little later to really be doing that now, but trust me, I'm gonna be doing a lot of reviews post game, pre game. Now that the channel is starting to gain some momentum, shit is gonna be completely different when this next season. So I'm glad y'all staying down now. The way y'all already in the mix. I'm popping popcorn. Shit. What is it? It better be over Redenbacher or some shit like that, or Act One. When there's some reason that Bill said if Rick comes back, he'll want to leave. Shit. I mean, he gonna be the reason that fuck ups and shit like that happen because he brought his boy on in. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you definitely gotta start reviewing the games, your commentary. Man, I appreciate it, bro. Trust me, I appreciate it. I try to come with a different spirit. I know I come off strong and passionate sometimes, but shit, that's what people want to need, bro. That people be feeling that shit. And I'll be seeing the comments, shit, y'all be agreeing with a lot of shit I be saying. Shit, even just in the damn in Honcho scream, just a little bit shit. People was agreeing with little shit I was saying. Oh, well, I see you unique finally up in here. Shit, what's good? Rick is part of the family. Yeah, he gonna be here regardless. Like he's not going anywhere. The fact that he married into the camper, he's never going anywhere. So he'll always be part of this organization, and that's what Bill O'Brien has failed to realize. If this shit is a true statement, which is not, because it's only certain people in this shit that you can only believe specific reports from. The only person out of this shit who's reporting about the Texans, who I'm even gonna believe that's in the organization and puts out accurate information and everything he says has always come to fruition. It's Pat D Stat. Yo, what's going on, fellas? Shit, y'all go ahead and y'all hit that like button, man. We was gonna talk about this GM situation. We was gonna talk about the Titans GM moves and how is this shit gonna move forward, in the long run because shit, what's going on, Paris? Shit, man. I mean, y'all truly give me y'all assessment and how y'all really feel that this shit, because I mean I already see a couple of guys going to teams that potentially is gonna go somewhere else, and I just don't see a situation where Tennessee is gonna be able to get in a new dude, implement philosophy, and now you want players to buy into some new shit. Like I just don't see it. I really don't. I don't see it at all, and I don't see them being nowhere near as successful. And I think just off the strength that Malarkey when he didn't have the nuts to really start Derrick Henry was an extreme liability and probably kept them from winning a couple of games this season. You know, I mean playing DeMarco Murray as long as they did, that shit didn't make no sense to me whatsoever. And do you feel Vrabel would take the job in Tennessee or Detroit? Man, I don't give a fuck where the fuck. I'm encouraging any fan that is interested in Mike Vrabel, man, take this man up off our damn roster. Like I could give a shit about. Sorry, man, I gotta go. I like the stream, man. Shit, it's no problem, Mr. 16. No, I know you got shit to do, but I appreciate you coming through, bro. But I'm not liking it until you say some good shit. Man, fuck out of here. I'm always talking about some good shit. Hector Flores, Pat is the man. Yeah, you damn right, Hector. You damn right. Yeah, Vrabel's so trash, bro. Like as a defensive coordinator, I understand, and then we all had high hopes, and we seen the shit. Yeah, true enough, injuries and a lot of shit happened. But we talking schematically. I'm talking fundamentally. He did not have these dudes right. It was no reason for dudes to be whiffing on as many tackles, for many communication breakdowns going on. And I was trying to warn Titans fans and sports fan entertainment stream a little earlier. You know, his stream was already over, but I was in the comment section going through a lot of his shit, you know, just to see what how a lot of the Titans fans were feeling about Malarkey going. And most of the majority of them been wanting him to get on. He was straddling the fence, talking about he been riding with Malarkey all year, but the moment that he said and that he wanted to keep Terry Robisky around. Now he wanted to jump ship, so he a flip flopper and he can't even stay consistent with bullshit that's going. So you know, you ain't gonna get that on this channel. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll eat crow if I'm wrong. I'll definitely do that. But to sit here and flip flop and go back and forth on my own opinions, you know, and ideologies, that's just not what's gonna happen. So y'all ain't gotta worry about shit like that. Period. And yeah, he is trash, bro. Shit, what's going on, G2X? I'm kind of like I'm kind of liking Jack Del Rio. I don't Jack Del Rio. Don't get me wrong, is a good coach, but I trust him more along as a DC, not so much as a head coach. Even though he has had some successes, you know what I'm saying. I don't really, I don't really think he'll be great as a I can't really judge his success on what he had with the Raiders when the Raiders defense is so fucking trash and their team overall is overrated, especially Derek Carr. But you know, people was getting pissed off at Rick for not drafting him, and we see the fruits of his labor. Other than last year, he's only had one good year. He needs to be questioned because he makes a lot of mistakes. He makes a lot of poor throws, and other than his outlier season, I mean, Derek Carr is not that good. He is proven him and Marcus Mariota, they're on the same level in terms of, ability. I would say that Derek Carr has a better arm, but Mariota is definitely more athletic. Did you think Keenan would have the same success if he said, "Man, I don't know. It's hard to say, but you know what? I don't think he would because Bill O'Brien would find some way to hinder him." Okay, even if he did get him back and he was in games, you still wouldn't trust him. If he couldn't trust Deshaun Watson to win and close out games, why would I think that Case Keenum would be able to do the same thing? And you're right, we never really truly gave him a chance, and they didn't truly develop him. But that was one of Kubiak's guys. So at the end of the day, even Gary Kubiak didn't take a fly on him when he went to Denver. So you tell me how they really felt. NFL is rigged for teams like the Patriots. Yeah, I thought it was a mistake to let him go. I mean, yeah, you saying that now because 2, 3 years after the fact, he's playing good for another team when all he did was kept working at his craft. But it's not like nobody was saying this shit last year or the year before. You know what I'm saying? I was one of them Houston fans who was very optimistic about Case Keenum, but you had to kind of face facts. You know what I'm saying? And even though he lost all those games, he was in games. He put us in a position to win games like that Patriots game, that damn Colts game, the KC game, the Cardinals game. I can just run a bunch of games down in that 2013 that was very, very winnable by case. You know what I'm saying? But other shit was going down on defense, in terms of Wade Phillips, because Wade Phillips' King was getting exposed that year, especially the run defense. We had a couple of injuries that was hindering us, and that was when our middle linebacker core was in complete fucking shambles. Y'all remember them days of not having no fucking middle linebackers when we was running dudes like damn, what's their names, bro? It's been so long ago, I don't even want to remember their names, bro. But I know Ray gonna come out of the woodwork and start naming some of them motherfuckers because the dudes that we had to come behind Brian Cushing were complete and utter trash. Xavier Cerna. Kind of hard to play well when both of your wide receivers straight up dropping the passes. Amari Cooper, bro. Amari Cooper's not that good. And Crabtree, that's their fault at the end of the day. And it's not it's their fault. I mean, because that's what their team's supposed to be doing. They the Raiders. They have all this money. They got money to pay dudes. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really have no excuses as to why they look bad this season, other than Derek Carr being a mediocre quarterback, which I knew he always was. That's just me personally. I mean, for dudes out here who feel that he's raw, give me your real reasons why. Because if you go just go by what he did last season, yeah, Brady James. Brady James had some games. Yeah, Daryl Sharpton. That's the names I was looking for. And there was another dude. He was ugly as fuck. Tim. Oh, God, it was somebody else that used to play with Sharpton. I can't remember his name, but he wasn't that good either, bro. I'm gonna be back and forth between you. Okay, that's bad. Yeah, Crabtree trash and he's soft and he stay getting his damn. Yeah, I talk. Yeah, come on. Yeah, Tim Dobbins. Yeah, that's him. There you go. Tim Dobbins, Brady James, and fucking Daryl Sharpton. Daryl Sharpton had some games. Tim Dobbins had some games, but they played better in the 2012 season versus the 2013 season because that 2013 season we were just getting exposed. Like that was by far the worst middle linebacking core we had for years. And honestly, the middle linebacking core didn't get addressed until we got like Bernard Kenny along with Dylan Cole and Zach Cunningham. So you could say this past year was probably the best middle linebacking core we've had. Period. Y'all want to try to fry Bob McNair for the rest of his life for one comment? And you make a mistake. He a good man. He's a good man. How? And I ain't even say anything about old buddy, but how is he a good man? Please tell me how. Do you know him personally? I mean, I don't understand how that statement can even be made, but okay. Will Fuller better than Cooper and Crabtree? Um, he's trending up in that direction, but yeah, he's a bitter old man. I mean, I'm not even really here to even sit there because I don't even really want to get into all that because I know me. I know where my mouth gonna take me if I get to talking about that specific subject. So I'm just leave that alone. But you know, in terms of football talk, man, like I really want these boys to go ahead and take Mike Vrabel off our hands. And honestly, I don't care if he goes to the Raiders. I don't care if he goes to what. Well, he can't go to the Raiders, but he could go to the Raiders as a DC. But I mean, it's gonna be a lot of dudes inquiring, and they have no earthly idea of how inept he is coaching an entire defense. If we're talking him coaching of somebody's front seven, then that team will be elite. If we got to talk about run stuffing and making sure dudes is getting pass rush and things of that nature, but at the end of the day, I just don't see anything outside of that he can bring to how is a good man he called black people horrible names. Yeah, y'all can go ahead, y'all can talk about that because I kind of mentioned that in one of my last streams, and I pretty much said what I need to say about that whole little situation, and and about society. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, a dude like that old, that ain't a mistake. That's a choice. What he said. It's not a coincidence that a lot of dudes that look just like him exposed the major shit that he's done within his own organization. So, I mean, this is facts. I'd be if I could post links and shit in this shit, I'd be more than willing to post them. But I don't have a computer at this moment to expose, the older generation, which is Bob McNair. So, I mean, but he's his own man. He makes his own decision. At the end of the day, he paying the peasants they little crumbs. So, it is what it is. And Kevin Johnson has lost confidence, honestly, because he didn't have a coach like um, Romeo Crennel to really get him where he needs to be. I think Kevin Johnson truly benefited from having Romeo Crennel as a defensive coordinator because it's just not. It's just I really just don't see any situation where he's successful with guys like Mike Vrabel or anyone else, unless they're maybe Vance Joseph because Vance Joseph was a good defensive coordinator and well, not so much as a good defensive coordinator, but a good secondary coach when he was here. And us firing John Butler, I really kind of didn't agree with that because John Butler, since he's been with Romeo Cornell and the rest of the staff, with the exception of this year, our pass defense has been lights out, and it's absolutely ridiculous. We've all said things that we shouldn't have said. Hey, bro. But at the end of the day, he should know better. He's a business. He claims to be a businessman, but he can't even watch. He doesn't even realize shit that he says affects his business. I mean, we just gonna keep it a buck. Let's be honest, Titans only went to the playoffs this year because of Texans injuries. True enough, but I think they still would have weaseled and made their way on in there anyway because they did beat specific teams this season that would have garnered them a spot, and they still finished better than teams like the Ravens or some shit like that. So it's really no telling to say they probably would have put somebody out of the playoffs, but I want the more people from the division to make it. Yeah, true enough. As fans, we may know they overrated. We know the Tennessee is nowhere near as talented as the Jags or the Texans at full strength. We all know this. We got the better quarterback. We potentially could end up having a better O line if we spend the money right. If the scheme is implemented and players are executing on a high level, at this juncture, I would probably say their running game is better. They got a better tight end than us, and they got a better strong safety in Kevin Byard. But outside of that, they have absolutely nothing. They don't have the coaches, which I'll concede. They don't have the players. They definitely don't have the defense from top to bottom. Like the Titans suck. Like if we being completely real, they know how to stay in games. They're a tough team. I'm not gonna take that from them, but to sit here and act like they're just talented is blasphemous. He's old enough to know when to shut his mouth. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's 70, 80 years old, bro. He should know. He knows the history of this country. So yeah, I mean, I fault him for what he did because he shouldn't have opened his mouth. But Cornell, like Belichick, is the very best of players. You absolutely right, El Sticky. I mean, that was clearly evident, since he's taken over and the shit that this team has done with the type of talent that we've had. We've reached so many obstacles. We went over so many hurdles, knocking down obstacles left and right. And I truly feel like, if the team plays even 85% of how I played last year, this shit, this it would be absolutely ridiculous with how Deshaun Watson was playing. But all we could do is put the season behind us, make the right moves in free agency and in the draft. You know, really be critical of the moves and really inquire about people behind the scenes before we start really making reports. It's nothing worse than reporting and regurgitating fake news and getting caught up and getting sucked all the way into a story that's not even true. And what was so sick about last week when I told y'all about the Brian Gaines situation and what he did to this company by to the team by even bringing number 17 here. I'm listening to Sports 610 radio and I'm listening to all the shows that's on sport from Mad Radio to In the Loop to Triple Threat, all of these damn shows. And I see nobody, not Seth, not Mike, not Landry, not John Lopez, Cody, not anybody knew a damn thing, and they kept talking about the GM and Rick Smith and all that when they have no earthly idea what Brian Gaine brought to this team, and Ted was probably the most optimistic person of everyone who spoke on the situation. Everybody else is pretty much like how the fans want. Like we wanted somebody completely out that had no ties with this team. And how I feel about Mick Martin, I feel he'll be a great player for years to come, and he'll be a staple on this offensive line. As long as he's used in the right scheme, we had the talent behind him, and Deshaun Watson's playing Gal. He should be an All Pro if he plays a full season this year. He should be an All Pro potentially next year, no less than a Pro Bowl. Titans would have finished 8-8 though. Probably so. Ain't no telling because they done squeaked out a lot of games. They won a lot of close games. You know what I'm saying? That I don't know how they finished the shit out, but it was absolutely ridiculous. If Mike Vrabel's the next coach next year, they're not gonna be nothing to worry about. Oh yeah, absolutely. Now don't now I will say they front seven will be legit though. That I will say they front seven will be legit, but I don't see a situation where the whole defense is gonna be legit. And I definitely don't see with even less talent that he had on the Texans. He has no true superstars other than Kevin Byard, Jarrell Casey, but Jarrell Casey can be stopped. Woodyard and all of these other dudes that they got on their defense and Avery Williamson and dudes like that, bro, them dudes is not consistent enough to go ahead and to contend with the Texans, and they have nobody to stop Deshaun Watson for years to come. So unless they get the Legion of Boom like 4 years ago, that'd be the only way that they can even continue to even win games with Deshaun Watson being healthy. The only way they beat us is if he's not playing. If we could end up having the same defense that we had in Week 7 when we played the Seahawks, and as long as we have Deshaun Watson playing, they don't beat us. Period. If Game does just as good as Rick did, everyone's just gonna love him just because his name is not Rick Smith. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's what people been wanting forever. But don't forget that in Rick's last year, he gave you a hellified draft. He made sure he went up and got. Not only did he have the like I'm gonna say it again, not only did he have to fix Brian Gaines' fuck up by trading away a second round pick, which he didn't. You can tell he didn't want to do, but this was gonna be the cost. And we reaping, and we seeing how that shit feels now. And the fact that he was still aggressive enough and he let his nuts hang to go get Deshaun Watson speaks volumes. Because most coaches, after being in a situation where you just paid the highest, a free agent quarterback, 72 million, guaranteed him like 30, and to get him off of your books completely and save money against the cap, and then trade up with just switch picks, just give away the following first round pick to get a transcendent quarterback, which is what he's been waiting on this whole time to draft. He hasn't been wanting no mediocre, middle of the road quarterback. How is it that the moment that Rick Smith does draft a quarterback for the Houston Texans, it's better than we ever could have dreamed? Like, really think about what we're saying right here. We saw what Deshaun Watson did, and it was not a fluke. And we give Rick Smith shit years and years and years of this when he knew better. Like, I would have waited I would have waited my 11, I would have waited 10 years to get a player like this too. They'll thank him later though. Because at the end of the day, the only reason that Deshaun Watson is here and we can even talk about Deshaun Watson the way that we are is because Rick Smith was aggressive to us. He let his nuts hang against Bill O'Brien's wishes because Bill O'Brien that and Pat D. Stat let that be known too. Bill O'Brien did not want Deshaun Watson, regardless of what he said in that shit. Rick told him, "Man, I'm going to go get him," and he got him. Bill O'Brien just came to terms. He put some shit to the side to make sure that this young man was going to be successful, and that's why he was successful. So I can give both of them their credit when it comes to their development and bringing Deshaun Watson here. Trading away a first round pick, Yeah, it only hurts because the team got depleted. But let these players not have been hurt the way that we are. Are we even talking about a first and second round pick this year? Like honestly, like are we even really caring about the draft other than to fill holes and depth problems and just fulfilling the roster out a little bit more and getting rid of pricey players and signing the best free agents that we possibly can with the same amount of money? Like honestly, like that's a real question that needs to be answered. And how do y'all feel about what I'm saying? Because is anybody even thinking of this or what I just said? If Game does good this year, it's because he a puppet for O'Brien. True enough. I mean, I feel some things. I mean, I'm not even gonna watch the Rockets game, bro. I mean, if you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna go back and forth and watch your shit, do your thing. Cause I'm not. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm watching Shark Tank right now. Watson is a once in a lifetime player, and that's all. Um, and the fact that he hit, I fuck that. I don't care what Ray or how anybody else feel. He hit on Deshaun Watson. Fuck that shit. He hit on Deshaun Watson. Ashley, they need to. I never seen you before. Shit, welcome to the stream. They need to make Mark Cuban hire as the GM. Nah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be feeling that at all. I would like him in terms of that he's a savage. He's willing to make some shit happen. And who hating Watson? Nobody. But let's just say Bill O'Brien was not as sold as Rick Smith was when he was brought here and we traded away a first round pick. I'll just say that, Bill O'Brien wasn't, truly on board with Deshaun Watson, whether y'all know it or not. And like I say, if y'all need to go listen to the podcast and y'all can listen from 16 minutes on back because it's like an hour and 40 minutes, and y'all gonna get y'all some good game out of that podcast. But nobody hated Watson. It's just that it's just that he wasn't as sold as everybody else because he was probably believing these bullshit scouts who were out here and had everything to say about him. And O'Brien warned Mahomes. That probably sounded like the most logical thing that he wanted. You know what I'm saying? And but he gets to make up for that, and he gets to get the players he wants this year because he gets to coach in the Senior Bowl. So he's getting the first hand look on everybody. He knows who to scout. He's bringing extra people there. So, I mean, it is what it is. But then why did Rick wait so long if he really wanted him? What do you mean? Why did he wait so long if he really wanted him? He traded up from 25 all the way up to the 12 spot and got him. At the end of the day, if he would have drafted him in the top 10, the contract would have made far more money on that contract than he's already making. So not only was it a good business decision move, and not only did you trade away your entire future to go get a transcendent quarterback who's going to be a starter and an all-pro player for the next 12 to 15 years, unless he has some significant injury or he dies or some shit like that. Other than those tragic events, for the foreseeable future, Deshaun Watson is going to be a productive player for this football team for years to come. Talk that contract issue. Yeah, hey man, I mean it is what it is, man. Shit, I mean some Texans fans were hating on Watson on Twitter because Keenum he responded back with "Leave your negative comments away from me." Some Texas fans were hating. I don't know shit about that. I ain't seen it, but that shit's crazy. That's just absolutely ridiculous. For this type of shit, for this type of shit to even be going on, they don't even have anything to do with one another. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for Rick Smith to have waited as long as he did to get this type of talent, who, I mean, at the end of the day, he's the smart one. He was the one who let his nuts hang. He let his nuts hang. He let them hang big. And at the end of the day, the Houston Texans will be reaping the benefits of his hard work and his aggressiveness. Y'all have noticed over the last like 2 years or so, 2, 3 years, he has been far more aggressive than he ever was from the draft all the way until, even in like free agency. You know what I'm saying? He made a move on Brock. Well, he didn't make the move on Brock Osweiler. Brian Gain made that move. And at the end of the day, look at what he had to do to sacrifice to get the player that we really needed. So I bet those Kansas fans, man, they were, bro. We even had a lot of homers. We had a lot of dudes, you know what I'm saying, that was talking real bad about, I ain't gonna name no names because we already went over that last night. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't tuned into the stream last night, then y'all already know who the hell I'm talking about. Y'all probably seen the video for y'allself. Matter of fact, I think dudes in the comment section was commenting about that shit last night. How do you feel about man? Malarkey getting fired is a good thing because I hope they take Mike Vrabel off our hands, man. I don't want him on this team. And yeah, if y'all feel y'all can take a fly on him and he gonna do something for y'all, then go ahead, get him, take him. We don't want him. The fans don't want him. I mean, and it seems that he's really entertaining the idea of being a head coach. And he feel he needs to step up. He's already been a player, won Super Bowls and all kind of other shit. So it is what it is. I've already eaten my crow. I had Watson as a third pick. Bro, shame on you, bro. Like, honestly, I mean, what kind of dope were you smoking, Duck Scout? Like, I mean, were you on that? Were you on that wit that Officer Hoyt was on in training day? Like, I don't know. I don't know who you saw in this draft who was better than Deshaun Watson at all. Like, it nobody was better. Like, there was nothing that was better than Deshaun Watson. Period. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mal Miles. That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't want I don't want him anywhere near this organization, not as a DC. If he was to go back, if he's to go back to going down, but I don't see him as as Doug Scout and a couple other guys say, I don't see him downgrading his title to a lesser position just so he can be successful. When I feel right now that's truly what he needs to do. Won us a national championship and two Heisman finalists. What are you talking about, John? I had my list. Man, shame on you too. Shame on you, Xavier. Shame on you. The fact that y'all had anybody over Watson, bro, I don't know what the hell is wrong with y'all. Like honestly, I don't know what the fuck y'all were looking at. So not only was he playing in a bitter conference, playing against bitter. He was beating good ass teams too. Like he was beating Ohio State, Florida State, South Carolina. He was beating Bama. Like the fact he saw Bama in a championship twice, only to win the second time in incredible fashion. That game alone was not like the fact that he did it twice and he said he was gonna win and he did, and the fact that he was losing the game early brought them all the way back to the spectacular win to win with like a couple of seconds left on the clock, bro. That shit is unheard of. That's just like what Case Keenum just did with that pass he threw to Diggs, where you thought the game was over. I never thought we were good at Watson, but I had talked about this shit so much, and I had talked about him being the only players that I was extremely high on, who I wanted to get on this team, and we can't really say how they would do on this team because of the teams that they own. The only other person, honestly, I thought when we made that move initially, I thought we were moving up to get like one of the better defensive players like Lattimore or one of those guys, because I felt because we had lost Bouye, we were gonna go up and go get one of the top corners or safeties. That's what I thought initially. But as I thought about it more, like at first I thought Watson, but I was like, okay, I don't think they really gonna get Watson. I thought they was gonna go get a corner or safety, like I just said. And when he said Deshaun Watson, man, I flipped, I lost my shit, bro. I was so happy that night. I swear I was so fucking happy. It was ridiculous. And hadn't watched it and watched this shit and to see how poised he was. Nobody's no prospect that I've seen come out of college since I've even been following college has ever been as poised as Deshaun Watson. You was crying, bro. I can't blame you, bro. I like Mahomes and Kaiser ahead of him. Mahomes just because he had a cannon arm, and that cannon shit is overrated. I mean, yeah, that shit cool to look at, but at the end of the day, that shit don't mean nothing. He threw for over 400 yards twice. Nobody had ever did that. The only person who had did that to Alabama, the only other person to do that was Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel had did that, you know, when he had beat Bama, and then when we played them in Texas A&M that following year, when Mike Evans came out of nowhere, um, he was doing that then because I think he had like 600 yards that game or some shit like that. It was crazy. Yeah, Mahomes and Kaiser. I don't see it. I don't see. Especially when people were saying Mitchell Trubisky was better. I was like, who the fuck? Wait, what? So not only did Deshaun Watson have a career percentage of 67%, and y'all want to sit here and talk about. It's not like he was making like stupid ass decisions when he would throw picks or anything. Not sure. I don't know. Yeah, me either. Me either. Yeah, no, but you know what? It's funny hearing and seeing people saying that shit now, and even seeing people talking about this during, when the draft analysis and shit. And a lot of dudes was saying that Kaiser and Mahomes was gonna be better. I just don't see it. Yeah, oh yeah, I seen your videos where you was talking about that shit, L Sticky. Yeah, bro. I saw that. I saw when you was doing videos on the draft prospects and you was like, man, bro, Holmes, fuck no. And when them reports came out, from like Battle Red Blog and all of this little bullshit, little shit was being said, and Bill O'Brien had to I think that was probably the straw that broke the camel's back. If that was the real situation, Mahomes not landing with the Houston Texans. But at the end of the day, it's not like he could have did anything about that anyway, because they went all the way up from 27 all the way up to the 10th pick overall. So shit, they were super aggressive in what they knew they wanted to do. I'm not gonna lie, I want to cry. What? Bro, what is wrong? How? Like, why? Like, what did these, like, seriously, what did these dudes have? Or how were you so brainwashed by the national media and combines and all of this extra shit? What did they possibly do on film in games that proved to be better? Like, I need to know y'all rationality because, like, now I want to talk about this. Like, the shit is borderline making me upset. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous, bro. Like, it makes no sense. Let's think. Oh, I was so happy. Honestly, that was the move that sealed it. Once I saw we moved up and I saw that KC had got him, I knew then we was gonna get him. But I still had that glimmer. I still kind of thought, man, hey, we might get a top corner or some shit like that. Cause Lattimore, Tre'Davious White, like a lot of dudes was like right there. Malik Hooker, like a lot of dudes was right there. And honestly, who would have been mad with having Malik Hooker? Because Malik Hooker before he went down was having a great ass season. Marshawn Lattimore balled out this whole year, and I thought we was gonna get like Jabril Peppers or some shit like that. I was high on Jabril Peppers after watching some of his film. True enough, yeah, he's a multi-gadget player, but at the end of the day, I felt like, I felt at the time that Mike Vrabel learned enough from Romeo Cannell to be able to implement him and use him in a specific way. You know what I'm saying? Or some shit like that. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't really judge his play and how he is with the Browns because at the end of the day, the Browns don't have nowhere near the amount of talent to accurately judge any player other than their offensive linemen because they stay getting offensive linemen year in, year out. I really wanted Ryan Ramchick. Bro, he's done nothing. He's done absolutely nothing. I hated Kaiser, but I thought the Texans were gonna take him because he was from Notre Dame. Bro, could you imagine how that situation would have played out? And do you know how ridiculed Rick would have been ridiculed? Do you know how ridiculed Rick Smith would have been for drafting Kaiser, bro? Could you imagine the fucking outrage? Like I could, oh goodness, I'm so glad he went up and got Watson, and Watson got to show at least within his lab draft as the Houston Texans GM that he got this draft right. And it was so funny listening to Mad Radio. It said that every GM that has left, they last draft that they had was by far the greatest drafts that they had. Like that '06 draft, we got D'Amico Ryans, Mario Williams, other dudes. You know what I'm saying? I think Owen Daniels came out in that draft. You know what I'm saying? In the fourth round, like a lot of shit came and happened that season. So who's to say where the shit's gonna take us? Because it is a couple of scenarios that you can think and be like, that's interesting to know. But I don't see how anybody could sit here and think that it's nothing Other than, okay, with Mahomes, his arm strength and shit did look good. Yeah, he got a rocket and all of that little bullshit. But you could see just the way he was flipping the ball and how he was getting out of the pocket and just he didn't have football skill. Now he truly didn't have any football skill. You can look at his footwork. You can look at a lot of his techniques. I don't care how he throws the ball as long as he throws it accurate. As long as he throws it accurately, I could care less about actual throwing mechanics as long as he's not number 17 because he by far has the worst throwing mechanics I've ever seen, especially for a quarterback being as tall as he was, because he was horrible. I had Davenport. A lot of people had Davenport as a top four. Most draft boards that I saw had Davenport like the number four tackle. So the fact we even went up and got him, and we got him when we did, I felt that that was a good pick by us. Because when you really go back and you go look at this draft, Carlos Watkins did something for us. You know, Foreman played well for us. You know what I'm saying? They thought like Darren Love with his size. Hey, you know, I mean, hey, it is what it is. You know, it's a lot of size demons out here. Yeah. Can someone tell me why they wanted college? Yeah, I'm still waiting too because you have to show me, you have to tell me, you have to give me a thorough analysis of what these guys possess because I honestly want since Ray Ray's in here because he was very critical of Deshaun Watson. Like he wasn't really high on anybody coming out of the draft in terms of quarterback. If we being real, he was really on some Forrest Lamp, getting Forrest Lamp type shit. I remember that. I can say, you know what I'm saying? He was doing all these damn mock drafts. I mean, yeah, true enough. His mock drafts, I want to say, yeah, he got the Foreman pick right, you know, and I want to say in a couple of your drafts or one of your drafts, you say you was able to get Zach Cunningham or some shit like that, and we ended up getting him. But but everybody else, I don't remember. I want to say Carlos Watkins you had right, or some late round pick that we had this year, or some shit. I think Mahomes and Watson will be the two best QBs out of the bus. Man, who's to say, man? Because Trubisky honestly could get picked up or get traded to another team, get with the right quarterback and does well. But I just don't see it because at the end of the day, he hasn't played at a higher caliber. He hasn't played against the better teams, and he doesn't do anything great to prove to me that he would win games. The most that Trubisky can hope that he would be is a Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, a dude that gets stats, has good statistical seasons, doesn't go to the playoffs, doesn't win divisions, and is going to get paid and break the bank come time free agency. Like that's what I see from Mitchell Trubisky. Yeah, I remember it was something like that, Ray Ray. Yeah, I remember it was some shit like that. I feel like Deontay will be the gunning for the start. I mean, I honestly see that. I mean, yeah, true enough. He's gonna gun for that every year, but at the end of the day, it ain't up to him. It's up to Bill O'Brien. And yeah, he was looking good. You know what I'm saying? He should have had way more touchdowns because he honestly could have cut in on the Patriots game, scored a touchdown. A couple of games that he had this season. The Browns game when he cut on that 30-some-yard run, when he went straight up the middle to the left side, and the fact that he didn't bowl the secondary, the safety over or make a cut or some kind of juke, and he didn't score on that play was fucking. Oh, I was so mad about that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. He'll never be Derek Carr. I mean, he has the same tools in terms of he's more athletic than Derek Carr. So the fact, yeah, so Derek Carr is honestly is not that far off, and Derek Carr is not raw. Derek Carr isn't raw at all. That shit he did last year, bro. Let's see him do it again. Yeah, it is. No, no, I won't say his vision is better. His well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, his ball carrier vision is better, but he benefited from playing. But he knows how to play in a power scheme too. That matters. Having vision in a power scheme is totally different than a zone scheme. How long is it going to be till Foreman is ready to play football? I haven't heard the reports. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's walking and and probably some things right now, but I don't even think he's really gonna get his workouts and shit like that. I mean, because I've seen some pictures of him on his IG, and I don't see him on any crutches or anything like that. So, I mean, it's really no telling. But we gonna stay on the lookout though. If we hear anything, we'll definitely put it out. Okay, so I had it wrong. I only had Mahomes ahead of Watson. That's just it's weird to hear you say that, Doug Scout, because you're such a knowledgeable football fan. It that's so surprising to for me to hear from you. Like just even having you on the round table to hear us talking the conversation we were having, I just don't see that coming out of your mouth. Like I just don't. Like it's nothing you can say that he has other than arm strength with the fact he can throw the ball 80 yards and you name one dude, it's not that many guys who are throwing passes 80 yards if any accurately, you know what I'm saying, and have been elite quarterbacks other than maybe Michael Vick, Cam Newton and Aaron Rodgers, a couple dudes, but he's not even nowhere near on that level. Matthew Stafford, um, Randall Cunningham, maybe dudes like Warren Moon, Cutler. You know what I'm saying? But Cutler's a bum though. You know, Ryan Mallett has that type of arm talent, but we know he's a certified bum. Like he's certified. He got his approval stamp years ago. Yeah, everybody want to know why Ducks Cow. Shit, fucking John in here begging, like literally, like he need to know. If we lose Miller, that puts a lot of pressure on Watson. No, not as much pressure as you think because you still got in a situation like that. I see them retaining Alfred Blue, and Alfred Blue at this moment in time is benefiting from this scheme for the last 2 years. The fact that his skills have increased and the fact that he's very decisive, he knows the line, he knows how to hit the holes, and his yard per carry have been high for the last 2 years. I see a situation like that working itself out if Lamar Miller isn't in the mix. And it's not like Lamar Miller is being other than pass pro, which is really all he's providing. Yeah, he can provide pass catching ability, but we're not even using him in that facet. I mean, we're not using Lamar Miller to the truest. If we were using honestly, bro, if we were using Lamar Miller to his true skill set, and we did everything to complement Lamar Miller's game, he would probably have the best statistical season of any running back in the league out of all of them. If we being real, no, Blue is not for full season back, bro. He's not consistent. That's why we got more room. No, we've always had a shitload of QBs. I mean, running backs, bro. Every year that we've had, and this was another point that was made in that compass, and I'm so glad you said that, bro. We're like one of the only teams, bro. At one point in time, we were carrying like six running backs on this team. Like Bill O'Brien doesn't know what the fuck he's doing when it comes to running backs. He doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to O line, and he definitely doesn't know how to judge tight end time. Way too many, and we eating up roster spots by having so many running backs on this fucking roster. When you can pick up a running back off the street like nothing. Like it's nothing to pick up a running back. Look what we did to Andre Ellington. We picked him up off the street and he was able to get some things done in the limited time that he played for us. You know what I'm saying? I'm just that was absolutely ridiculous. I think if we keep under we get rid of Miller, I don't see that because that's going if Brian Gaines steps in and he gets this dudes off because he brought it's not like he didn't bring Lamar Miller and Jeff Allen here along with number 17. So I mean that would be for him to clean up. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I mean, it's possible, but to sit here and act like you know, uh, Blue hasn't been successful, Mal Miles is ridiculous. His yard per carry indicates otherwise. Ellington is good though. Yeah, he is. He is comfortable with making audibles at the line and making reads. Also, as a leader who has shown and he is capable of making. Who are you talking about, Doug Scout? Are you talking about Mahomes or are you talking about what a scout said about Mahomes? Because I thought this was something you were personally saying. However, this is my second target on the list of accurate and mechanical issues, so my concern was inconsistent accuracy, apparently. Miller is overrated, period, not worth the contract. I mean, but bro, we can't sit here and act like he's not being utilized properly, too. How can he justify a contract and making the money that this organization paid him when we both know damn well he's not being used for pass targets? When he gets the ball and he's in open space, he makes shit happen. I mean, so is Jeff Allen. Yeah, a lot of dudes, but a lot of these dudes, in terms of the O line, they're playing completely out of position. We all saw the moment that Jeff Allen went to the left side, he was effective. We all saw that. Everybody was questioning this shit, like, why would they do that? And the moment he did that, he's effective because that's what he's supposed to do. He's better at pass pro. Xavier Suafilo, if they wanted him to be beneficial at all on this team, all they would have to do is move him to the right side. But these dudes, they claim they know about football and they claim the fans don't know shit about football. Well, I trust me, we can put their knowledge against mine. And if I was able to know play calls and know how to call an NFL offense, I'd be a head coach right now, and I would be far more successful in a much shorter time than Bill O'Brien would ever be. Miller's overrated. I agree with you when yeah we don't use him right. And at the end of the day, I mean, why is he overrated? Why do y'all feel what is it about his skill set in terms of his pass pro is excellent. His pass catching is good. Um He's not. I mean, it's certain plays that you have to call for him. I'm not saying that he's a downhill runner because we're not gonna act like all running backs are made equally. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not an Arian Foster. He's probably the most complete back we've seen over the last decade or so. The only issue with him was injury. You take injuries away from Arian Foster, he's hand down. He if he plays if he plays 12, 13 years with the amount of production that he had with the Houston Texans for a consistent base, if he plays 12, 13 years, he breaks probably every record in the record books. And we know he was probably of all running backs over the last 13 years or so, Aaron Foster was by far, if not the best, red zone running back that played in the NFL. I don't because he was scoring 15, 16, 16 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like 13, 14, 12 touchdowns a season. Like it was absolutely ridiculous. Did you even watch him play, or did you just listen to all the haters? How do you use him right then? I mean, he's more of a stretch zone type of running back, and he can. It's not that he can't run up the middle because he has run up the middle quite a bit and has been successful when the holes have been open enough. So it's not like he hasn't had any success running up the running downhill, but implementing a zone scheme where he gets to pick and choose which holes he wants to hit, and the fact that the zone scheme covers against the backside, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Oh yeah, I know you weren't talking to me. I know you was. I wink. I wasn't talking to you, bro. I was talking about all. Yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, yeah. I wasn't saying nothing. I wasn't saying you were saying nothing about me. No, I was just reading what you were saying to Duck Scout when you said that. Okay, dude. I mean, I got tape that we could watch. I'd have to, find out a way that I can end up doing film session without getting my shit flagged. Once I figure that out, then we can go over this and sit here and say that this man can't do something when it's clearly in his arsenal is blasphemy. I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it, and trust me, I know exactly the games to go to. But I digress. Cause let me find out a way to where we able to do film study and dudes of really get to learn football why the play broke down. We can pinpoint all the errors and learn football for real. Because a lot of dudes they in here, they just fans, but they don't really know football. They don't really know what they watching. It's just like dudes that claim they watch combat sports, but then like to pick apart what both sports are on. You know what I'm saying? And really don't really know what they look because something else just is more appeasing to them because they don't like true skill. You know, it's a totally different subject, but that's how I can compare it. Bro, all the Miller haters gonna worship him when fools. Worship him? No, I won't say all that. But at the end of the day, they'll. I mean, regardless if he's successful with Miller or not, with Watson or not, dudes are still not gonna like Lamar Miller. Ray Ray is just not gonna like Lamar Miller, regardless if he could have 1,600 yards rushing, four rushing touchdowns, and like 13 rushing touchdowns, and he still wouldn't like Lamar Miller, even if he did all that. And was still great at pass pro the way he was. He still wouldn't like Lamar Miller. If we talking about right now, I would take Foreman. I take Foreman. I honestly thought the boldest move. This was by far my boldest move of the season before the season started, in terms of guys that was gonna get on the field to outplay somebody, and what would have been the best situation. I said if Bill O'Brien would have started Deontay Foreman over Lamar Miller, that hands down would have been the ballsiest move that would have been made at that point in time. I'm sorry if I took the Watson conversation seriously, just do now. Oh man, I can only imagine how you feel being out there in South Carolina watching that shit. Would you admit it? Would you admit it? But you clearly didn't mean what I say. Yeah, you could admit that he had a good season. Yeah, you're a man, you'll do that. But you still wouldn't like him. You still wouldn't like him, and that was my whole point. How long do you have? I have stuff to talk about with all you guys. Well, shit, at the hour mark, man. Since it's only a couple more minutes left, I cut it down at the hour mark since you rushing niggas. You know what I'm saying? You rude ass. Oh, Forest Hill Drive, pipe smoking ass. Oh, I'm fucking with you, Parrish. Your alarm clock head ass. Yeah, I mean, we can go ahead and we can finish talking about a couple little things. Y'all can go ahead and address any questions to me, before I get ready to shut the stream down in like 3 minutes. Is Honcho still streaming on the Kush Den, or is he done? How can you be a Texas fan if you don't like a man who puts up 14? Man, you'll be surprised, bro. Just like all these people out here who saying that T.O. shouldn't be a Hall of Famer just because they claim he destroyed football teams, which he clearly didn't, because they were successful with him and they were successful after he left. So how did he destroy it? They were going to the playoffs with him. They were going to NFC championships, and they were winning football games when he was on their roster. But exactly. But you got dudes out here saying that T.O. ain't a Hall of Famer. Like, we got people out here saying this. Like, literally. I'm not rushing you. It's an emergency on some real shit. I need help. Oh shit. What you mean, like a real life emergency or a football emergency? Yeah, it is nonsense, man. Ray, you don't have to explain that to me. Like the fact that Randy Moss isn't in the hit the hangout. Oh, okay. Well, shit, I'm gonna go ahead. Shit, it sounds like it's some serious shit going on right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get onto the hangout. Y'all just want me to come to the hangout? Cause I'll go ahead and come to the hangout. I can honestly see the Texans being a dynasty in two. Hey, it can happen, bro. I believe it. It can be true. Life emergency. Oh shit. Hey, y'all go ahead. Hey, I'm finna go ahead and close this shit down, man. All right. I'm getting out of here. Y'all stay up. I'll do a stream tomorrow.